Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Does this sound okay? Is it better than last week? I hope so. Let's get started. Oh, not a bad beer. I think this is the number 13th batch with the same yeast. So we can talk about that till the cows come home, and they're never going to come home because I don't have any. But I am double-fisted today. I poured myself a Caesar, and then I realized, oh shoot, I'm going to be making a video in a few minutes, so I just set that aside. I love my Caesars. But I hope you guys are doing well, and I apologize for last week's audio. Right when I was ready to start recording, I realized I didn't have the the memory card, the little memory card inside my camera. So when I put the memory card in, I knocked the little plug for the microphone out, and we ended up with the camcorder sound, which I don't like. And so I actually gave the audio to a professional, and we did the best we could with it. It was either that or not post the video at all. So anyway, I hope this is better this week. Okay. So hope you guys are having a good week. And what I did was I printed a sheet with some stuff from last week, some of the comments. So I went through last week's comments and I chose a few things. I didn't get all of them. I wish I could, but I just got a few. Let me grab my my second pair of eyes here and see what we've got. I have, which way am I supposed to look through these? I'm not used to these glasses, actually. I have thought about doing a next week's video based on your questions. Like I said, I've got a few here, not very many, but maybe what you guys can do is post down below any questions you might have. Now, the last time I did this, I literally got like 100 questions, which is awesome. I'm glad you guys are all watching and participating, but obviously I couldn't answer them all. So maybe what we're going to do in the very near future is a live YouTube. I haven't done one of those in a while. So we'd have to schedule that for a certain night of the week and at a certain time. And there's no way I can appease everybody around the globe because everyone's got different time zones. But if I did it at 3 o'clock in the morning, all the Australians would love me, but all the North Americans wouldn't. So we'll have to see what happens. But that is something that I've done before and ended up being very popular. It's a long video though. Like the video ends up being over an hour long. But it's a live interaction. You put things in the chat room and I read them out loud live. So that's pretty cool. And we can even take a couple Skype calls if you want. Sort of what I do on Friday nights, but that's Vaughn Live. This is YouTube. So anyway, let me read some of these to you and see what we've got. Now, these are just random. On the subject of, I didn't put the names in here of the people who posted this stuff because I don't want to start trying to pronounce everybody's usernames. On the subject of repitching the yeast, and we've talked about this, again, like I said, I don't see any cows, so we're still talking about it. He asked me if you could do it with Cooper's English Bitter. First of all, I'm not sure why you would want to reuse the Cooper's yeast because it comes with it every time. So you don't really need to. There's not really a big advantage to doing that, other than it becomes a strain that is kind of used to you and your method of brewing. But I wouldn't bother reusing Cooper's yeast because you get it as a new one every time. But if you're talking about just reusing the yeast in a Cooper's kit, like in other words, USO5, some other yeast that you have been reusing, of course you can use a Cooper's kit to brew. That's what I've been doing. So yeah, absolutely. So I hope I answered that question properly. Overpitching, somebody said overpitching is a myth. And for all of you guys who are not sure what that means, Overpitching means adding too much yeast to a brew. And it's a myth. Now, you know, it was a myth that you could only use yeast 5 times, as we've proven. Number 13. And still going strong. Beautiful yeast. The stuff, it explodes. I put something on Facebook a few days ago. I'm getting these blowouts on my beers, like there's this much headroom in my keg, or in my fermenter, and I'm still getting, you know, the airlock is still a mess. So we're good. There's a lot of myths that, you know, again, I've said this over and over again, try things yourself, you know, and see what happens. You might prove it wrong. You might prove the myth to be wrong. Maybe a professional home brewer, like a professional brewing company, might only use it 5 times for some reason. But as a home brewer, you can use it as many times as you want. Now, as far as overpitching goes, I know a lot of people who just, they keg or bottle their beer and they just put the new batch right on top. Presumably that would be all grain because you've already got the wort cooled down. You obviously you can't pour hot wort onto a yeast bed because you'll kill the yeast. But as far as, you know, reusing the entire trub at the bottom, people do it all the time and they have no problems. I will, one of these days, dump the entire trub from a brew on top of another brew. The whole thing. Usually I only use, you know, about half of it. But what the heck? You know? Let's try it. Let's do an experiment. Dump the whole thing and see if overpitching really matters. And I will be honest with you. And I will brew a beer that I've brewed many, many, many times, probably a Cooper's IPA or something like that. The prices have gone up for these Cooper's kits considerably in the last little week or so. And I can't pay that. So I'm probably going to be switching over to Brew Canada beer kits, which I can get here in my country. Some people, you know, it's just because of the Canadian economy that the dollar right now is not very good. So they've gone up like $4. I ain't paying it. So, you know, I'm going to switch over. But I will buy a Cooper's. I'll buy one of those Coopers and I'll try dumping the whole damn yeast in. See if it makes any difference at all. And I'll know because I'm used to the taste that I know what those kits are supposed to taste like. They're pretty consistent. Let's see. Still going to be doing the mini mash series? Of course I am. Of course. In fact, I got a package upstairs. I forgot to bring it down and show you guys. I got a box. And I have to get some more. Am I going to go into this? Yeah, sure. My wife had to get her stickers for her vehicle. And it needed an emissions test, and it failed the test. And it cost us a fortune. So I had to prioritize my budget. I apologize for that. But absolutely, the mini mash series is still going to happen. So no worries. I had to prioritize things. Okay. So I got to buy a bunch of grains and hops and things and whatnot. So, you know, so that's that. These. I guess last week I showed you a container of Clamato juice, which is tomato juice with flavorings in it. It's what you make these Caesars with. Now I gotta take a drink of it. Oh man. I've introduced a few people to these and they love them. So the Clamato juice, there was about this much left in the bottle, in the plastic, and I accidentally left it sitting around down here, and you saw it last week. The bottle was all bulged out and it had fermented. It turned itself into alcohol. So I showed you guys, and then I poured it down the sink. Well, I'm being accused by a few people of actually just pouring it into a cup in the sink and then drinking it after the video was over. I would never do that. Oh man, no, I didn't. I actually did pour it out. I don't need to get sick, you know, but it probably would have been fine. I just didn't want to risk it. But yeah, that was funny, guys. Thanks for that. That was a good laugh. Let's see. There's one here that I keep getting a couple weeks in a row, and this is a good point. They're saying, you know, I need to leave my comfort zone. Well, let's just say things have been a little bit bland around here for the past few months. And I have been thinking about that. I was sick for a little while and, you know, I got lazy. I will try to look up, you know, things that you can do. You can ferment all kinds of stuff and see exactly what's involved with this. Okay. So yeah, some experimental brews would be nice. If you guys have any ideas, let me know. I mean, I don't drive, so, you know, I can only get basic stuff, ingredients and whatnot. You know, I mean, I'm not able to drive all over the city and collect stuff, but, you know, if you have any simple ideas about stuff that you can ferment, post it down in the comments. Let me know, and we'll give it a whirl, okay? But yeah, sure. I'd love to try some new things. This is a dungeon, you know, that's what we call it. And it's a bit of a laboratory for me. And it would be nice to, you know, try some stuff. That would be really, really interesting. So, you know, but these homebrew weeklies are supposed to be blogs or vlogs. They're really not supposed to be anything other than just what I'm doing right now. But I don't just do these every week. I try to do other things too, and I'm due for something. So we'll see what happens there. We'll put some stuff together, okay? I promise. Okay. What do we got? We're working our way down the list. Working our way back to you, babe. Oh, I want to get copyright infringements. How do you contact me if you want to send a beer in? Okay. You would contact me by emailing me at craigtubemail@gmail.com. I do not answer questions in that email, so please don't be surprised if you send me a question and I don't answer it. Otherwise, I would get, you know, a lot of questions. I wouldn't have time to answer them all. So craigtubemail@gmail.com. Send me as much information about yourself as you can. There comes, I'm going to be dealing with some noise over here, but that's okay. My furnace. You know, send me as much information about yourself as you can, your Facebook, if you have a YouTube channel, because I have to screen. I have to make sure that somebody's not trying to send me something, you know, rogue, right? I have to be careful. So I do check IP addresses and, you know, I check it out. And if I have enough information about you, then I will give you where to send the beer or whatever. If you want to, whatever you want to send, if you want to send a glass or a shirt or whatever, I'm more than happy to receive stuff like that. It's awesome. I love getting gifts from people. Well, who doesn't, you know? So craigtubemail@gmail.com and we'll work it out from there, okay? But I need information. I'm just not going to hand out my details without knowing who the heck, you know, you are. Because I will, if someone was to send me something, you know, rogue, I would need to be able to, you know, figure out who it was, okay? I'm sure you can understand that. Let's see, I'm not doing it without my glasses, which I shouldn't do. Craig, how about oxygenating your wort? Okay, here's the thing, plain and simple. All grain beer, I would say yes, you have to. Yeast needs oxygen. Okay, so you might end up with problems. It'll probably still ferment, but it might fall short. The yeast might die early, or you might get some weird off flavors or stressed out yeast and, you know, that kind of thing, right? But if you're doing an extract beer where most of the water is being added after the boil from the tap or from bottled water, then no, you don't need to oxygenate, never been able to say that properly, your wort. Because the water that you're adding to it has oxygen in it. So, for example, this beer, Cooper's English Bitter, I did not oxygenate this. okay? Because most of it, like really 4/5 of it, is fresh water added after the fact. So there's lots of oxygen there. John Palmer covered that a little bit on our interview. So if you're just making kits like that, you know, and extract beers like that, and you're topping up with fresh water, nope, don't worry about it. But if it's an all grain where you did a full boil, yes, I think you should. All right, the last thing. Oh, that's the same. Okay, I wrote it down twice. So that's that. Oh, great, I've run out of material here. Okay, so those are those questions. I like answering questions. So if, you know, down below, and I'll check them out next week. And I'll try to put the actual question on the screen so you can see who posted the question. Okay? I will not be able to do them all. You know, so I will pick the ones that I either haven't answered yet. You know, obviously I'm not going to answer ones that have been asked a million times, you know. So if you got, you know, good questions, I'll try to answer them the best I can. And while you're at it, smash that thumbs up button, please. That would be awesome. I would appreciate that. And the subscribe button. And the little bell beside the subscribe button to make sure you're getting notifications. I know people who aren't getting notifications even though they're supposed to be, and I don't know what's wrong. They've told YouTube to send them a notification and they're still not getting it. So I don't know why that is. So generally what I do is, I know some people don't use Facebook and I understand why, but generally what I do is when I post a video, I link it onto Facebook. So even if you have to create a Facebook account and friend me up on Facebook just for that, and don't use Facebook for anything else, you'll always get the link. Okay? I think I've run out of things to tell you. It snowed here recently, and there was quite a bit of snow. I should have taken the GoPro out. The GoPro out, and shot some video. But it was, by the time I was ready to do that, it was always dark out, so I didn't get a chance. But what I am really having a lot of fun with these days, though, and this is not homebrew related, but is my Friday Night Live broadcasts. And a lot of you have joined. I've got a great crowd of people that go in there every week and listen to great tunes. I don't know what kind of music you like, but I grew up, you know, I'm 51 years old as of the taping of this video. So I grew up in this, you know, 70s, 80s. So, you know, I love good music. You know, I love rock music. I love, you know, different genres, but I try to stick to just the best music I can think of. And we take requests. I'm not a big fan of heavy metal, I'm sorry. I have nothing against it, but it's a bit of a niche genre. So, but I'm all over the place. I play all kinds of music, fast, slow, Rush, Led Zeppelin, you know, popular music from the 70s and 80s, all that stuff. So we have a great crowd in there. The chat room's open for you if you want to chat and say hello. And if you don't, that's fine too. But I try to bring back the old style 70s radio, you know, where we take requests, we take calls, we play the music that you want to hear, and I'm spinning them live. I'm not doing it from, you know, an automated software that just picks songs randomly and puts them on. No, we're picking the songs for you guys, and it's being done on the fly so that it's almost like a real radio station. And we have little, you know, spots in between the songs, sweepers and whatnot that make it sound cool. I'm not a professional DJ, but I do have some fun on there. So please check it out at vonlive.tv/CraigTube. I was asked about the shirts, the price of the shirts. Go to tgtshirts.com and you will see how much they are. And we have a new shirt being developed right now, but certainly the other ones that are there now are still available. So you never know when we're going to take the shirts offline and replace them with new ones. So if you see one there you like, probably should grab it as quickly as possible. Now I sound like Ron Popeil, but there you have it. But I'm not going to spray that stuff on my hair, though. I don't think they have white spray. You remember that? Ron Popeil, he was great. Look him up on YouTube. He was the best infomercial guy ever. I learned a lot from infomercials. Watching them all the way growing up, I learned a lot from them. I don't think I'd be sitting here doing this without having watched millions of infomercials over the years and figuring out how they do stuff. So, anyways, I think I'm out of time, meaning that I have done about 20 minutes or so. I don't know. I don't time these things, but I appreciate you guys watching these every week, and all the things that we talk about here in regard to trying a couple of new things down here in the dungeon. Let's get some ideas, and let's see if we can blow this place up, or I don't know, something like that. But guys, cheers and happy home brewing, and just keep on keeping on with the home brew. And I will see you on the interwebs in the next few days on my live show and next week on YouTube. And just thank you so much for your support. Hint, hint. All right. Guys, be safe. 17.